What's happening? Welcome back to Real Reds. My name is Sam, Manchester United independent fan channel that poses the question: if tomatoes are a fruit, is ketchup considered a smoothie?
Oh, I wouldn't want a ketchup smoothie. That'd be fucking
go.
hanging.
Let you think about that. We're joined by Nick, Chivy, Aaron. Lads, how are we doing? Knowing our bank holiday can't be ruined by Manchester United. Are we all right?
Well, I personally would like Aaron to explain the pineapple theory that he was just discussing.
Let's not get into this. It's just going to take too long. Yeah, that's after dark. After dark.
Does anyone know about that? Let me know in the comments.
We'll get into that in after dark. But yeah, we're going to rebuild Manchester United today. The rumoured figure was 100 million, I think, from the Telegraph. But I think with sales, we could probably top that up to 200, 220. So the lads have got that to play with. They're going to spend it this summer, and then we'll go position by position, and they're going to tell us who they're going to buy. And then at the end, they're going to have their 11 ready to start day one of the Premier League and hopefully actually be better than what we've done this season, which shouldn't be hard, to be honest with you. But yeah. We all understand the rules. We all understand what's happening.
Yes. Let's
Chivy,
go.
have you actually done it this time?
I have. But I'd like someone to go first.
Okay. Right. Just in case that you've got it wrong.
Okay.
All right. I know Nick's definitely done it. So, Nick, you go first because I know you've definitely done it.
Okay. So, we're starting off with defenders, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a centre-back.
Before you do,
an obvious one.
Before you do, how much have you spent in total on this team?
200.
200 on the dot. And is there any tactical adjustments have you made? Have you changed the formation? Nothing?
I have quite literally gone through and had a look at the best journalists around what they're reporting the price are and on transfer market as well. So I've got as close to the thing as I possibly could.
No, but in terms of formation, have you changed it at all? Like, have you changed? Are you going full?
No, I've gone a little bit more of a pragmatic 4-2-3-1. I'd probably say. That's what I've gone with.
Right, go ahead with your defenders.
So, centre back, apologies if I've robbed it off anyone, is Tadibo, but I don't think I would have robbed it off Chivy because he doesn't like him. 40 million quid. Easy to do, easy deal to do when you're thinking about it. Played for Nice, Ratcliffe, all kind of link there. You all know the situation with that. Wants a move to the Premier League. It's a tap-in of a deal. We need someone where we can push up the pitch, play a high line, someone who's comfortable 1v1. You look at Kanate, Van der Ven, fucking Saliba, whoever it is you want to look at. The reason why they're so successful is because they have people who are physical, quick, and good in 1v1 areas, and he can also play at right back as well. So I think Tadibo would be a fucking great shout. And he also have a second centre back, but I don't really want to go into that. Oh.
What weaknesses before Chivy jumps on him? What weaknesses Tadibo have?
He's not as consistent because he's young, so he doesn't game in, game out. He's a 7 out of 10. He has dips sometimes where he's a little bit questionable, but I think he's been one of Nice's better players from what I've seen of him anyway. And he needs work, but I don't know. I think price-wise, you're not going to get a better centre-back for a better price, in my opinion, in the market at the minute. So,
Chivy, do you want to comment? Because I know you're not a fan of Jean-Claire.
No, it's not like I'm not a fan. I just think there's better options out there. So it's not like I'm not a fan. I prefer other players to him.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to go on to your next one unless Aaron's got anything he wants to say about Tadibo?
No, I'm cool.
Yeah. Good stuff. Second, not going to be much of a surprise again. It's Jared Brandflakes. Has everything you need in a modern centre-back. Quick enough, has the height, physicality, decent enough on the ball, good in any kind of duels. Another one where, like, I'm sure you probably asked a question about weaknesses and stuff, but I remember watching him against Chelsea recently, a couple of weeks ago. I had a little bit of a stinker, and I was like, not entirely sure. So he still needs some work around the edges. I still think you can kind of see that the experience isn't there in certain situations, spatial awareness, but all around centre back, everything you want in a package, I think he offers. And also, I can call him Brandflakes all season, so that's another positive for me.
How much do you reckon?
I don't know, because I'm seeing 60 million euros being quoted, so that'd be 50 million quid, right? Yeah. But then I think Everton would probably want more. I don't know. I'd say 50 million quid, but Everton could push it up a little bit.
You think
with them? I think he goes for 70.
Yeah,
70?
That's what I thought. I think they're going to ask 70, especially now they're safe in the Premier League and not getting relegated. I think they could ask quite a lot.
Well, if you wanted to box clever, let me just throw something back at you. Sure. I did a show today, Maguire swap deal. One goes one way, one goes the other. If you want to try and do something like that, or try and knock off a bit of price, or then go down that route, but yeah, if he's going for that price, I wouldn't go for him personally.
It's difficult to do swap deals, though, isn't it? Historically,
Yeah,
very
always.
difficult to.
Yeah, and
to
never
pull
work
them off.
out rarely either in our history.
No, but to be fair, I think that's a reasonable swap.
Yep.
Harry Maguire for I think
And
it's
he'd
reasonable.
fit
Yeah.
Everton so well as well. Maguire be perfect
Yeah.
for him. Sean Dyche would be licking his lips, mate.
Captain.
Wow.
He'd making captain immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Everton is greedy and they have rich owners, so I know money isn't really that much of an issue, but it sounds like a reasonable swap deal and with some added cash on top, of course. Yeah.
You got any further defenders, Nick, or any changes in the goalkeeping situation?
I've got one wing back.
Okay.
If you want me to get to that.
Yeah, tell us about your win back.
Yeah. Frimpong, 35 million quid release clause.
Easy deal.
No brainer. Killing it for Leverkusen. Attacking threat, extremely quick. Offers that overlapping run that fucking Aaron Ramsaka refuses to do. The only thing is with him, I'm not sure if he'd leave Leverkusen with them just winning the league. It's hard to say. Do you want to come up to a seventh place?
Champions League as well. Like they're in the Champions
League.
That's what I mean.
So. And I think
do you think with him playing in a back five, it kind of affects if he comes to United?
In a
back four, he's got more defensive responsibilities.
Yeah, so there'd be an adaptation period. I'd be more worried in the system that we play at the minute because how exposed it is. But if you go to a more pragmatic 4-2-3-1 and you have flexible players like a Tadibo who can push over to the right-hand side, or if you have midfielders you can drop into the back line, there can be enough rotation for cover, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it just depends on others who come in and the system that you set him up in. But I like Frimpong from what I've seen for Leverkusen.
Yeah, no, I think he's a really good player. I just do worry about because he thrives in that back five, and he may have a release clause, but like you said, why would he leave German champions and Champions League football to come to United, who may not even have European football in general?
Yeah, exactly.
So it could be a thing. But Chivy, do you want to go next, or do you want Aaron to go next? Or do you feel confident now with what you planned?
Yeah, Aaron can go next. I'm just adding up. Sorry.
Okay, Aaron, give us your defenders, mate.
Right, so first I'll go Branthwaite because obviously Nick's already touched on him. Obviously he's young. I had him down. I went in the middle. I went 55 million. He's just like very composed from what I've seen for a young age. I think the thing that stands out to me when I watch him is how well he reads the game. He's not rash. His positioning in the box is the key thing for me. He never like gets suffocated or he never loses a man. Aerial duels I'm not worried about. The only criticism that I see of him, but I think that's more of a testament to the way that Everton play, is that his short passing has been called into like question. But I feel that's obviously Everton's style of play because he has been credited for his long balls, like he's a long range passing. So I feel like that's more of a formation. I'd be interested to see how he'd fit in the United system.
If he played next to Leacher is very good at receiving the passing and do no short passes, so he doesn't have to be so used to that.
Where his weakness would be, Sandro would carry that. I think that should be our number one target. I've also, for centre back, gone for Adebayo from Fulham, free transfer.
He's boxing clever now. He's definitely working the system.
I've had two, man. There's some clever ones on here.
Yeah.
I had 26.
There's some fucking expensive ones on there as well, and if you've had to box clever.
By the way, I've got bingo cards for all three of you, and I'm to see how many players that I've guessed to see which ones make it. Nick's already put one on of mine, but I know exactly who Aaron's going for in his list.
My striker, mate. You may as well
exactly.
Yeah. We all know. Got a fucking Argentinian flag on his back.
But talk to me about your other defensive selection.
Yeah, Adebayo, fifth. Well, obviously he's going to be a free transfer. Wouldn't necessarily be my starter, but not every player can be a starter. And I feel like the players that we're going to lose in the centre back, obviously Maguire, possibly Varane. We don't know what's going to happen with Johnny Evans, so that's obviously we're just looking at Lindelof. We don't know if he goes, stays. So I feel that he would come in. He's reliable for Fulham. Probably his stats and that he's one of the better defenders in the league this season. And I just feel like, under like Fergie or other big teams, they always have consistent players that can come in and do a job. We had Johnny Evans, we've had PK, and at the minute it seems like there's such a drop off. Maguire stepped up definitely, but there's such a drop off that it's noticeable. And with Sandro, we don't know how he's going to be next season. Is he going to be injury prone again? There's a big question mark over him. So I just feel like we need quality, and we need players that are going to elevate other players. So I feel like, Adebayo probably wouldn't be a starter, but he's 26 and he's got the potential to force his way into the lineup. And then I went for a left back. I think I'm saying it right. Kirkes from Bournemouth.
Yeah, good player. Good player.
Because I'm unsure about the left back situation. Obviously, Luke Shaw, very injury prone. Malacia, we don't know what's happening. We definitely need a left back. So I feel whoever goes out of the two, because I think one of them may go in the summer. I'm leaning more towards Malacia. I feel like this is a left back that we can buy that can obviously go into being our starting left back. Luke Shaw, I'm on the fence on whether we sell him or not. I feel like Kirkes, if he comes in and performs well, that at the end of next season we could look at moving Luke Shaw on and maybe promoting someone like Amas, someone young. So we've got two young left backs then fighting for a position.
How much is Kirkes costing us?
See, that what I had to look online, it was saying about 20-25 million, but I feel like it would be more.
Yeah.
So I went for 30 million. I just upped it by 10. But yeah, I feel like it would be a real good player. And what stands out to me the most with him is his crossing. And I feel like our fullbacks, bar Luke Shaw, Dalot obviously can deliver a ball, but he's hit and miss sometimes. But Kirkes' delivery is perfect, and I feel like it would complement Højlund. So yeah, that's why I went for him.
Only 20 years old as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I like it. I like Aaron's like coming out of the outside of the box thinking.
Unorthodox
man.
signings,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, any comments on any of those lads that you want to touch on?
No, I didn't know much about that Kirkes, to be honest, until we played him, and I thought he was probably the best player for them against us from what I can remember. But I haven't seen him enough in other games to know how consistent he is, what his level is. So it would be a bit of a gamble if I was to pick it, just because I haven't seen much of him. But the others, 100%, yeah, I agree with.
Really, for me, it's just the Adebayo. I don't know if he's the kind of character, or I don't know that much about him.
Same.
I just don't know because we need characters, we need leadership figures in the back. I know he probably won't be a starter, and he's kind of young, so I don't know if it might be too much bringing him in. But the fact that he's I think he's on a free.
Yeah.
Did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a really good. I mean, that's something to consider. If we're strapped for cash. Yeah. So.
Dino's in the chat saying Ariho from Forest he'd look at as well. I've again not seen him, but he's saying about 30 million, maybe less. So could be an option, especially if they go down as well. There might be some bargains to be had if they get relegated. But yeah, Chivy, give us your defensive options.
So I've gone for Inacio from Sporting Lisbon, who's a central defender. Very similar to Ruben. What's his name? Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Diaz, yeah.
Yeah, he's that sort of player. Very intelligent, very good on the ball, positioning, passing range, kind of. He's that type of player. Especially if we want to play sort of like a ball possession style football, he'll be perfect. Perfect with Lisandro. I think he's Portuguese, but he speaks Spanish as well. So him and Lisandro, like the communication, I can see both of them being a really, really good partnership, forming a good partnership at the back. When I checked online, it says he had a 40 million euro release clause, or that's his valuation. But I think Sporting will probably put some money on top of that. So I'm just going to go for £50 million. And I believe that would be, a decent fee.
Is he your start?
Um,
Does he come in and start then? Is he your starting centre back? Just comes
yes,
straight in.
yes. So I'm pairing him with Lisandro. I'm keeping Varane because obviously he's not fit all the time. He can come in and so it's good to have that quality substitute to sort of rotate with. My other defender, I've gone for a left back, and I actually have two options who are kind of valued at the same price, so either or. So hypothetically, if we sell, I would keep Luke Shaw and sell Malacia, and I've gone for Grimaldo from Leverkusen. Leverkusen, yeah.
Right, sir.
So he's a bit older, but they got him on free, and German clubs aren't really known to like put massive prices on players, and his valuation is about 30 million euros. So I think if we tempt Leverkusen with 30 million pounds or 35 million, I think that would be a good deal. If we can't get him, obviously because he's riding high at the moment, I've gone for David Raum from
Hoffenheim, is it?
No, Red Bull, Leipzig.
Oh, right, yeah.
Leipzig, yeah. So he's the German number 3 at the moment. Very good offensively, very physical as well. Good at up and down that left flank. Very good at delivering passes, and I've gone for an industrial sort of left back. Both Grimaldo and Ram have really good assists, creating chances, that sort of thing, and they're really well experienced as well. So it's the sort of thing where the next season, if we're looking to sell Luke Shaw on, and then we can bring a younger player to sort of come under one of either them, either Ram or Grimaldo. So those are my two. So I've gone for 30 million pounds for either.
Yeah, Leverkusen have said they're going to have to sell a player this summer. I think the chairman said it. So whether that's Wirtz, the City, or whether that's Frimpong or whoever, they're going to have to sell one player, I think he said, just to stay where they are. Yeah. So it could well be Grimaldo.
If they got Grimaldo on the free and then they make some money on top of him, that's a really good deal for them. So it's one of them ones. That's those are my two defenders I'm getting.
I like it, man. I like it.
Can you throw the same argument with Grimaldo like you can in terms of the wing back? Because he's more like a Chilwell or Alonso, for example. Or is he more defensively sound than like a Frimpong or a player like that?
He's more defensively. He's older, so he's not like a flying wing back as such. Yeah. But in terms of like if we're playing, so I've gone for a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
And sort of like a similar style that we played last season, where you'd have one of the left backs come into the midfield.
Yeah.
And he'd be perfect in that sort of position. Yeah. He's also really good on the ball, and I can see him having sort of really good chemistry with like Lisandro, who's on the left side of him as well. I think he's Argentinian, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's Spanish. Grimaldo.
Spanish. Grimaldo Spanish. Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's sort of axis. Yeah. But I can see them having a really good sort of chemistry going on there.
No, I like it. Really smart signings. Like, I think 30 million for a left back, I think it's good business, especially with those two players that you mentioned. Macmillan saying Evans, Varane, Maguire out, Tosin, Todibo and Branthwaite in. Dino saying I'd stay away from Bramflakes, he's not a fan. Macmillan, Shawby starting left back next season, Malacia to be loaned out. Lucky Singh saying Zubamendi, Verster in, Brenner, Branthwaite in as well. So there you go, people in the chat having their say. Nick, talk to me about midfield. Where are we going?
I'm not going to go with the one I would always go with because
why? I've got my bingo card. Why are you doing this to me?
Sometimes you have to be, I don't know, you have to switch up, don't you? I can't just keep banging this drum.
Whole point of this show, and you just chucked it.
So I've done a bit of Chewy there, boxing clever, switched up a little bit, and I've gone for Fofana at Monaco. Big lad, physically strong, aggressive, can play between the lines. Mainu needs a partner with experience, but also legs and that kind of defensive steel. And Fofana is that in a nutshell from what I've watched, and I've watched quite a bit of him. Capable of playing as a 6 or as an 8 with that kind of double pivot partner. And obviously Mainu likes to rotate as well, so I think I'd fit him both perfectly. And the price as well is the best thing about all of this. He's got 1 year left on his deal, and you can get him for around 20 to 25 million pound, which is a ridiculous price. So that is someone I would look at 100%. And he's been Monaco's best player, in my opinion, by far this season.
Does he come in and start for you? Is he like your option
well,
copy?
I think he'd probably have to, because I look at Casemiro, unless they switch it up, I can't see him starting many more games, to be honest with you. So yeah, in that sense, he'd kind of have to hit his ground running. But with that as well, kind of caveat that with, on a free, Ross Barkley. And I know people, and there's a lot of fans who be like, Ross Barkley plays for fucking Luton or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Watch the guy. I'm telling you right now, I don't give a shit if he plays for Luton.
He's been brilliant this season.
He's been fucking good, really, really good.
Any contention for an England call-up as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I've watched it, I always associated him as like a 10, an attacking midfielder. But when you watch him for Luton, the way he takes the ball under pressure, can just play between the lines. Composure, he's dribbling as well on the ball, like in tight areas. I liked him. Anytime I've watched him for Luton, and I've watched him quite a bit this season, I think he's looked really, really good. And as an option, as like an alternative option, or just an option on the bench, because we need depth in that area, with Eriksen potentially going as well, I think if you want to box clever, go and get him on a free.
There was a reason he was highly rated. Like, he came out of the Everton, didn't he? And then was it Chelsea who came in and bought him?
Yeah.
So I think, like, there was a reason they wanted him. Like,
how old is he? He's not that old.
He is. Let me double check. I'm sure he's like 28 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say he's got to be about 28 or something.
Late 20s, yeah.
Born in 93. So what's that? Is that 30? Is it? Is that right? 30. Turning 31 in December, so he's 30 at the minute. But as a free, it's like...
On a free, yeah.
As a bench option as well. Like, he's not going to want to start many games, especially if you come from Luton to Manchester United. As a bench option, it's better than Scott McTominay, or... Do you know what I mean? Coming off the bench. So it's like...
As if you want to retain possession.
I feel this summer, the players that we bring in for depth are going to be more important than the players that we bring in that are going to go into the starting lineup. That's how I've approached this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because our 11, if you've got our starting 11 for all start, it's not too bad. It's quite a decent.
No, you just have to add like one or two
it's
maybe.
Just, it's just when one of them falls off, that's it. The whole system goes to shit, and you're screwed because you have nobody to bring off. You got Scott McTominay or Eriksen, whose legs have fallen off and stuff. So yeah, I agree. I think you could do a lot worse than Ross Barkley, and like you said, he's done amazing for Luton, and they're still in a chance of staying up at this point as well.
I hope they do. I hope they do, me personally. Want them to stay up.
But yeah, any other midfielders, Nick, or have you just gone for the two?
No, they were all mine. Ross Barkley and Fofana from Monaco.
Aaron, who have you got midfield, mate?
First, I went with Onana from Everton.
Pricey.
I looked online and it was saying anywhere between 45 to 55 million. Probably going to be more expensive than that, but that's what I've got it down as. He's kind of what we need now, with Casemiro declining or being a victim of the system, whichever way you want to look at it. He's an aggressive ball winner. He reads the game really well. I think where he lacks maybe is on the ball, but if you put him with Mainu, they kind of hold up each other's weaknesses, where Mainu might not be as aggressive in winning the ball back. Obviously, Onana's going to do that. And Mainu will obviously take the ball more. He's more composed on the ball. I just feel like them two, if they got a partnership and got it right, could be a real effective midfield. It's just the price tag that I'm not sure about.
It'd be north of 50 for sure.
Yeah.
I think 60, pushing 70. I reckon they'll be asking.
Yeah, and then with maybe going for Branthwaite as well. I just don't know if it would happen. But I'll keep him on the list. But yeah, that's who I'd go with, and I'd also go for Rabiot on a free.
There we go. There's a bingo. I've got one. I've got one in the bingo card.
I just feel like for a free transfer. Go on.
I was just going to say Veronica.
Get that cash.
I just think it's shrewd business. Like, for a free transfer, you're getting a player that's, will play predominantly, obviously, the number 8 and play the number 10. has also played the number 6. Obviously, you would need someone next to him. But yeah, I just feel what he can bring to the team is what we lack a lot of time, because we bring in McTominay, who he can crash the box and get a goal, but for 90 minutes is basically ineffective.
Yeah,
Eriksen ain't got the legs, and Rabiot brings a lot of energy. He gravitates more towards the left-hand side, so it's kind of where we want it, where Eriksen would usually sit. His passing is good. He can score goals.
It's experience as well. Played in the World Cup final, played for Juve, PSG. He's played at top level.
Do you know what? I was always when he was at PSG and that, I thought he was always a bit overhyped from what I've seen in the Champions League. And then when I watched him for France, and he was occupying that left-hand side, like the number 8, but obviously towards the left, I was watching him. I was thinking, wow, he is actually real good. He's into play. He was getting into the box. He was drifting out wide.
Physical as well, Aaron, which we need physical players, man, desperately in that team.
And like I say, not every player is going to be a starter, but he might fight his way into the team, or he might give you another option where we struggle to break teams down. So in a game where we're against a low block, a Mainu and a Onana are really going to be pushing on. So I feel like in a game like that, you could maybe get Onana off, or you not even start, and Rabiot could come in and he push on. I just feel for a free transfer. I know people say about his mum and stuff like that, but it's like for me, it's like it just outweighs all the negatives. I just can't see why we wouldn't be in for him.
You got to think as well, Kobbie Mainoo, he's 18 years old. If you had a competent depth of midfield, Mainoo probably wouldn't be playing as many games as he is playing right now.
No, that's what I mean.
He's playing as many games as he has because we have nobody else, and he's better than everybody else we have. But I think if you had depth in your midfield, say we had City's depth in midfield, Mainoo would play 1-2 games, then he'd come out for 2-3 games, and that's where you put Rabiot in, and then Mainoo come back. You could do it that way, so they're not overplaying. Garnacho, for example, he's played every game this season bar one, I think, hasn't he? I think he's going to be dropped for one game, which is just ridiculous for a young player.
And I think, in that team, for the type of player that Mainoo is, who's he learning from? That's another thing that worries me about the young players in this team, and why I think we need experience, because who they're learning from. Yeah, Rabiot, people said about his attitude and stuff like that, but like you say, he's done it on the big stage. He's been in big games. And I don't know. I just feel that, what he would bring to our midfield is something that we've lacked for a long time. And for me, for a free transfer, I think we'd be stupid not to sign him.
Lads, any comments?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything, to be fair. Left-footed as well. I know Ten Hag likes his certain footers on certain sides, don't he? To open up passing lanes and all that kind of stuff. Physical. It's just the attitude thing that gets associated with, which would worry me a little bit. But I don't know. If you get him for free, then it's worth the risk, I suppose.
I think there's a lot of smart signings out there, and I think you and Aaron have touched on in Barkley and Rabiot. That's, again, smart signings that we need. It's we can't keep going for these superstars. Can't be paying. For example, Casemiro, we paid 70 million for him. He's a guy who's 30 and he's on the decline in his career. Whereas you look at Real Madrid, who are they going to get? They're getting the next stars. Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Valverde. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need to be doing. We need to go be finding these guys who are the next stars, and then sprinkling in the experience like the Toni Kroos and the Luka Modric, and having that unit together, because we don't have that at the minute.
And also, not just that, look at the players that Arsenal have bought, right? Trossard was 30 million quid. He's one of the most underrated players ever, Trossard. He's so good.
McAllister for Liverpool, 35 million.
Yeah, 30 million quid. Gabriel, who's been fucking insane for them at the back alongside Saliba, 30 million quid. And I remember United sniffing around him as well at the time. They're the kind of signing. It's not always, like you said, the box office 90 million quid signing. Because judging off our history past 10 years, you want to go away from that. It never works. Ever.
Didn't he even get Jorginho for a steal?
Yeah, 10 million quid.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Partey was 35 million quid as well. So the Arsenal have done really, really good signings for decent prices as well. They've not over-egged the pudding. So, yeah, I agree. Anyway,
Chivy, any comment on Aaron's, and then feel free to get into your midfield.
No, I'm a fan of Fabio on the free. That would be a really good deal. I mean, we're trying to save money, so if we get him, that'll be a good one. And we don't have, if it's free, we can get him on like a 2-year, 3-year contract sort of thing. If it doesn't work out, we can easily sell him sort of thing. So yeah, I'm not 100% sold on Nana, but I would love to have someone like that on the bench to come in, sort of thing. So yeah, really good. And the only thing about Nana is just the price, like we're talking about. Like they might want to just rinse us for that, but yeah.
My only worry about Onana is I don't know what his ceiling is. I don't know, like,
risky.
He's still pretty raw, isn't he? Like,
especially if you pay 70 million for him as well, and then he doesn't work.
Big gamble. He's not even starting for Everton at the minute. I don't think. That's the crazy thing.
I've gone for. So my first midfielder would be Kimmich, and just because he's got 1 year left.
Hold on, Chivy. Let me just think about Kimmich in our midfield. Just give me a minute.
Alongside Mainu.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
So, and I've gone for him because he's got 1 year left on his contract and he hasn't renewed it. And I don't know if you guys heard, but there was a kind of a link. There's kind of a thing where it looks like he might not sign for Bayern, and he might look to leave. So there is a possibility that there's a realistic option that he might leave. Now, if we're just trying to put 2 and 2 together, if we get Thomas Tuchel, it all kind of adds up, sort of thing. And so if he's got 1 year left, I think it's possible. He hasn't signed another deal. I think and I checked online. It says transfer market online, and I think it said 50 million euros or something. But I've gone for like 55 million pounds as a realistic sort of thing, and I think it's possible. I think it's not one that's completely out of the question. I don't really have to say too much.
If he hasn't signed a new deal, he's clearly unhappy with something. Like he's clearly happy with something.
He's definitely looking at his options at the moment. So with Ineos coming in with the new structure behind, with Barada and all that, I think there's a project that could be sold to him, and I think it's possible. I don't really have to go too much into his qualities because we all know how good he is. He's been playing for ages. He's a leader.
Captain material.
Yeah. Captain material, experience, perfect for Mainu to sort of learn off. And sort of rub off, his skills and sort of thing. So it'd be good to have Kimmich and Mainu, or Kimmich and Casemiro, or just something like that, someone to come in. And but I haven't definitely started. And I've gone for a second midfielder, Spanish, with Fabian Ruiz, who plays for PSG. Yeah, he was at Napoli, but he just went to PSG recently. Yeah, so he's just gone there, and I think he's got 3 years left in his contract. But I think a deal can be done if possible. Energy is good. He's a traditional 8. He's just as good as attacking as tracking back. Really good on the ball. Fantastic passing. Sniffs opportunities. I mean, it would be perfect.
I thought you'd say something else. Is he a short sniffer? Just get him out the pitch type.
No, but like he sniffs opportunities, and I think
he had to use the sentence again. Like he couldn't. I thought at least change the sentence to something else. He was like, no.
Is it the Hangover where he sniffs Stu's ass? He just says, "I'm saying hello." You see that?
The Robbie Fowler celebration, just.
That was sick. I remember that. Yeah. Sorry, Javert.
No. Yeah, I think he'll be a useful Christian Eriksen sort of replacement. So I don't know why Eriksen was playing the double pivot with Casemiro when obviously he doesn't have the physicality to do that.
Yeah.
Fabian Ruiz can do that and do all the passing and all that, and at least take some attacking responsibility off Bruno. So I think them two definitely would be my.
No, I'm not laughing. Someone's put a comment saying Matt Whiffer. I'm just thinking, is it in relation to the sniffer thing, or is that an actual player?
I was like, who the fuck is Matt Whiffer?
Yeah. Don't know.
Anyway.
Anyone heard of Matt Whiffer?
No.
No.
There's a player called Wheat. Is that who he's on about?
Maybe it is.
So random.
It was just convenient timing because he said sniff and it just popped up in the chat.
Yeah, it's like Matt Whiffer. Okay. I like.
You guys have dirty mind.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't help it.
How much for Fabian Ruiz? How much are we talking, Jimmy?
Fabian Ruiz, I think we can get him for 40 million.
Interesting.
40?
Yeah.
I think we get him cheaper than that.
Oh, I thought Aaron was going to go higher than that.
No, I think we get him cheaper than that.
Initially, I said 30, but then I just want to be realistic. Yeah. I'll say 35. Let's say 35 million. I think we can get him for that because PSG have options. They have lots of options, and he's not always going to be like So I think, and if they're looking to rebuild,
is he the depth player or is he a starter? Does he come in and start, Ruiz?
No, off the bench.
Okay.
Off the bench.
Yeah.
He's young as well, isn't he, Ruiz? Like early 20s?
No, mid.
Mid-20s.
Yeah, mid now. Yeah.
Mid-20s. Yeah.
Could I just say
very,
quickly?
very intelligent. Very intelligent. Yeah, go on to it.
There's 21 people in the chat. If you can leave a like on the video for us and subscribe, because we're 40 or 5,000 subscribers. So if any of you are new to the channel and you've just we're 38 off it apparently. So if you are just tuning in and you're not subscribed yet, please hit that. Help us hit 5k, and we'll read some of your comments out shortly. But we've got quite a few positions to discuss, so I'll let Sam do that.
I'll read out a couple of comments and then we'll get on to forwards. Dino saying Andy Robertson for Liverpool. I think he was talking about smart signings. Osman saying promote Wheatley, Williams, Fletcher and Bianchieri. I think Wheatley's going to be a great striker. Yeah, Chivy rates him very, very highly. Lucky saying let's do breakdown Agent Rabiot. Yeah, that'll be an interesting conversation. Jesus Christ. With Veronica.
Imagine if we get her on the channel. What a fucking coup that'd be.
What a thing. Greenwood, Sancho can go, but we need to share the burden of the team. Stop one man Fernandes. Jadon Sancho can go to Leipzig. I don't think he's going to Leipzig. I think if he's going anyway, he's going to Dortmund. Tahir, we don't need another Dutch league player. I don't know who he's referring to, but okay. I want to see some of these youth players on this tour this summer. And with no Champions League, the rebuild doubles in time. Mats Vifa plays for Feyenoord.
Well,
sure, what Arne Slot just stealing? If he's good, then he'll just take him to Liverpool.
Probably.
Right?
Probably, yeah. Most likely. But Dutch players, like, I think most of us get a bit of a chill when we hear a Dutch player in it, or someone who's, I don't know about anyone else, but I do personally. I'm like...
By the way, this guy, RX Builds, please stop cursing. It's a total turn off. You guys are better than that. No, we're fucking not. But carry on. Nick, forwards. Yeah.
Oh,
fucking 20.
Mate,
it's a fan to use cursing. Fucking get out the comments.
Mate, this is a channel for you. If you don't like swearing, this is not the channel for you. But carry on. Nick, forwards.
Alright, let's chuck that in there. Forward. You know what? I've just mentioned a Dutch player, and I've just fucking shot myself in the foot. Joshua Zirkzee, 6'4" Dutch striker, 22 years old, 11 goals, 4 assists in 30 games for Bologna. Come from the highly rated Feyenoord academy. We've just been discussing Feyenoord. Brought through players like Van Persie, Wijnaldum, Timber, Malacia. And he's similar to, from what I can see, he's similar to Lewandowski. So the reason why I haven't
plays for
Bologna. Yeah.
Did he play for Bayern? Is that where he's gone?
Yeah. So he struggled to get in. Obviously, we got Lewandowski there. It's one of them. But he is very similar in that sense. Can hold up, can link play. And the reason why I haven't gone Sesko, which is what you probably had on your bingo card, I'm guessing, Sam. I do really like Sesko. 45 million quid release clause. You know, it's a no-brainer for me. But it's stylistically, you do want a different kind of option off the bench. So Zirkzee would offer that, and he'd be around 50 million quid. So yeah. I've just seen that there. Terence and Philip are great.
No, but it's just, there's a thing. Eric's build has just put, I'm a 20-year-old female in Canada, and then Dino's replied, Terence and Philip are great.
You smell that, Philip? No, I can't visit Terence. My ass.
Fucking hell. I love our comments at times. It's the best
Yeah,
fucking
sometimes
comment
I'm
in
gonna
all.
have to cover him up because I can't focus when my focus attention span's so bad.
Joshua
So-
Xerxes, how much is he costing us then?
50 million quid.
50 million. Is
Yep.
he your only forward you're going to bring in? You're not bringing any
Correct.
wingers, nothing?
Don't need wingers. Promote Ahmad.
Okay.
He's sorted.
It's
No, it's true though, isn't it?
He's not getting
why
promoted though, is he? He's not.
No, he's not. But if you're gonna go spend 60 million quid on Elise, who's a creative winger and left-footed, and just fucking promote Ahmad, you spent 30 odd million quid on him.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then we can go for at least next season. But
Yeah.
at the moment now, we're spending way too much money.
We've got fucking
Wingers,
loads of wingers. Like,
Oh, yeah.
fuck
Right,
that.
so you're spending
Striker, man.
50 million on Joshua Xerxes. So he's your one striker option. What does he offer that Rasmus Højlund doesn't offer? What is it that he's got?
So think of it as Rasmus Højlund's more like let's say, a Haaland at Dortmund, in it, like a transitional pacer, strong, can get in behind. Not amazing hold-up players we've all seen. Xerxes more like a Lewandowski, play into him, strong, can hold defenders off. Can also get in behind as well, but not as strong at that. Can link up players. Is less selfish than kind of your out-and-out number 9s. So yeah, I just think, for example, look at Liverpool. The reason why they were so successful is because they had Firmino,
Yes.
they had Salah and Mane, who were relatively greedy at times, and they had Firmino in the middle, and that's the reason why it was so well oiled, and that's why it worked so much. So that's why I want to get that kind of striker, because we don't supply our strikers.
How many goals does he get like per season? Has he got a good?
Double figures on average from what I've seen. I'll double check it, but let me have a look. But yeah, go on, continue. And then
I just think if you're gonna be playing next to, I hope Ahmad gets promoted, but let's face it, the odds are very slim. With Rashford and Garnacho, is he gonna get enough of the ball to make an impact on the game? Because we see what happens with Rasmus Højlund.
Well, that's my point. He kind of creates his own chances, or you can play into him. So he'll be supplying the strikers, if anything, and he'll also pick up the goals at the same time. So it works hand in hand in that sense.
Nice. Aaron, forwards, wingers, what you got?
After he's just all been slating him, Elise.
Yeah, just skip that one, mate. No, I like him. I just think, I don't know. But go on.
I'm just coming from the other side of, if we get rid of Sancho, obviously Greenwood will probably go.
Yeah.
I think Palestri will probably go. I have a feeling Ahmad will probably go as well. Then, the wingers actually have dried up and we don't have that many. I think Elise brings something that none of the others bring. It's a playmaker. He'll look to find Højlund instead of trying to obviously go himself, but he can score goals. So I feel like, he can do both. He's very good at set pieces. I remember, I think it was a game where it was like a breakout game for him, like 2 seasons ago, maybe. I remember just watching Palace in the FA Cup. I can't remember who they played. And he scored 2 goals. One of them was a free kick.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, who is this kid? I had never seen him before. And I thought, fucking hell, who is this? Sorry for swearing. Who is this kid?
Okay.
And I just think, these are the sort of players that we need. And it may also fucking put a rocket up Garnacho's arse and Rashford and actually make him find Højlund more, because I don't doubt that they are capable. It's just, I feel like they're kind of getting away with it at the minute. So if there's a player there that's doing it and it's subsequently one of them is losing their spot, I feel that, it would only help promote them maybe. And you get I hate the label, but he's Prem proven, so I expect him to come in, hit the ground running. I just think for 60 million, he's 22 years old. He will go somewhere else and tear it up. So, why not bring him to United?
Yeah, he's on the prime, isn't he? He's on the sort of cusp of something great, and he's probably going to move this summer. If it's not United, then he's probably going to go somewhere, like you said,
probably
and do
Chelsea.
something. Yeah, who they looked worse than us this season, but apparently they're above us now because they've just absolutely smacked up West Ham. So, yeah, it could well be Chelsea or someone like that. But yeah, any comments on Elise, lads? I know you didn't slate him, Nick, but you didn't.
No, I really like Elise. I just think if the budget could stretch, I would definitely 100% look at him. But I just, we've got so many positions to fill. I just don't know if they're going to look towards that. we'll have to see what happens with sales and stuff, I suppose.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Go on.
I like him. But I think the price tag might be
Heavy in it, 60
okay,
mil.
but yeah. But I really like him.
Am I going to mark my
I just
bingo
wanna-
card for
I
you
just-
next? Sorry, Jimmy.
I just want us to move away from spending lots of money on prospects.
Yeah.
You know, but I really like him. If we can pull it off, then yeah, 100%. Let's do it.
Yeah. Am I going to mark my bingo card with your next selection, Aaron?
No, because there's one more before I get to that.
Oh, okay.
There's a bit of a random one. This I don't think you'll know about the player or heard of the player, but there's a player for Atletico Bilbao, can play either wing. He's called Berenguer. He's 28 years old, and he's mainly a bench player, which is why I think he'd fit in at United, because he would come in, he's versatile, play either wing, and he'd maybe be like third choice, but you know, with the way injuries have been, especially like last season as well when we had injuries, some games we were playing Palestri, like, you know, and for me he's too lightweight. He gets goals. I think this season he scored like 7 goals, 3 assists, and that's coming out at like, I think I had a look on Transfer Market and he's only started like 30% games. So, you know, they're good numbers coming off the bench. Obviously, he ain't going to hit like double figures and he kind of averages that. He's been at Bilbao for like 4 years. His numbers kind of stay consistent. He likes coming in. I think he predominantly plays left wing, to cut in on his right foot. But yeah, from whenever I've seen him, he looks decent. I watched a game, can't remember who he played, and he scored 2 goals, and it was literally, both goals were just from hard work, from interceptions, both of them. So yeah, I feel for a free transfer, he would be good as a rotation utility player. He's been linked with Wolves, Crystal Palace. In them teams, he would probably be a starter. But obviously, if he comes to United, you're probably looking at a bench player. And I feel that's where we're going to have to bolster.
Yeah.
I
don't know anything about this kid. Like, I've never watched him or anything, so I'll have to just take your word.
Trust your knowledge.
He's good enough to be on the bench, you know what I mean? That sort of player. And obviously up front, I've gone to Bala, 12 million. Yeah. For me, I think in just terms of what he'll bring, because we have no plan B, it's either Højlund or nothing. And I feel especially where Nick mentioned before about Firmino being pivotal in Liverpool, that would what Dybala would bring at United. He's double figures with assists this season, always averages around 10 assists. You know, they were raving about Tammy Abraham last season. He was scoring so many goals because of Dybala, because of their play. And I feel like in a game where, you know, we struggle to unlock a defence, that we can take the risk and maybe go 3 at the back, or we could maybe change up the formation to where we've got a second striker and Dybala can sit in next to Højlund. Obviously, Højlund can run off him, or Dybala can run off, depending if Højlund's hold-up play improves. He can play left wing. At the minute, he's playing right wing, and he's scoring goals. And I always wasn't sure if he could play as the number 9. This season, he's played the number 9 quite a lot, and he went on a good goal-scoring run. Some of them were penalties, obviously. Some of them were free kicks, but you know, the goals at the end of the day. His numbers are consistent, double figures goals for the past whatever seasons. He's 30 years old, and I just think it's another dimension that is the main drawing point to him, in terms of, you know, he could play like a false 9, so many different positions, where Højlund is still raw. And I feel like against Burnley, where, you know, he's not getting in behind, we're not getting the ball really into the box, it's kind of going around the box and he's dropping in. He can't do that. Dybala would have been perfect for that game. Obviously, the wingers, Anthony would have run off him, Garnacho would have. Yeah, for 12 mil, that's just a steal. Like, you know, and people have this conception that he's over the hill. I think maybe because, I don't know if it's because he went to Roma, but a lot of that was to do with, he kind of was not forced out, but he kind of lost his place because of Ronaldo, because he was predominantly playing on the left side at Juventus. and him and Ronaldo had a bit of a clash, or he felt kind of pushed out. But he's gone to Roma, revived that, and for 12 million, I think, you know, in what the options there is in striker, instead of going to spend like 45 million on Sesko, which don't really make sense to me, because I feel like he's the sort of player that you'd bring in to be your number nine, but Højlund's that player as well. So it's like, are they not just going to stunt each other's growth in terms of that? So I think he'd be perfect, and I think he could maybe teach Højlund certain things, better hold up play, how to drop in, release the ball. I just think he would dovetail really well with Højlund.
I think you need to get paid commission off his fucking agent, mate. That's what I think.
I literally was just about to say the same thing.
I've had my say. I've had my say on
Dybala.
Yeah, I've had my say on Dybala a number of times, so you lads can comment in a minute. But Dino's asking if I'm drinking red wine. No, I don't drink red wine out of the bottle, you absolute savage. It's a fucking cider. Like, I don't just neck red wine from the bottle, my friend. But yeah, Nick, Chivy, Dybala, what do you think? How are your thoughts on that?
There is not a possible angle I could cover that Aaron hasn't already, so I'll let Chivy say anything if he wants to cover anything. I think Aaron's pretty much summed his life up there in one.
I'm just reading his book.
Yeah. His biography.
Dybala's biography.
I felt like we're in court there. Like, you know, Your Honor, my client has proved so many. I like Dybala. I think I just don't know if he'll be fit. Like, and I know his injury record isn't the best, and I don't know about hold up play, but he offers something different. And if we can do what City does sometimes with Alvarez and Højlund in the way they play them together, I could see it working.
Wages are another thing as well.
That was my point. Yeah. Wages is the issue.
You say that, but he went to Roma that haven't got a lot of money, and I'm sure I had a look at that, and he's not on. I want to say he's on like 120, 130.
Let's have a look.
I may be wrong there, but I know Roma are strapped for cash because they could only bring in like free transfers, and I'm sure he went there on a free transfer.
Right. Most importantly, though, is not most importantly, but did you say it's worth 12 mil?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could be. You know. Well, yeah, I think you've touched them. You've touched them.
Every point.
You've covered every.
Yeah. Chivy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I said everything he told me to say anyway. So.
135,000 euros a week.
Yeah, even though his wages.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know his star sign and his measurements and all that sort of stuff as well?
Yeah, I know what size boxes he wears.
Don't worry, I've got a backup. Don't worry.
They're seeing two of me at the minute though. That's quite disturbing. There we go.
Okay, now that's right.
Yeah.
Jesus, 1 second. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Nick, you might want to switch your mic over as well. It switched over to the other mic.
Right, 1 second. Go on to it.
Chivy, give us your forwards, mate.
Yeah, I've gone from one forward. I've gone for Victor Boniface. Complete striker, in my opinion. Complete. Plays with players around him. 1-2 pass. He can play on his own. Physical. I think he has like 10 assists or something in our competition. Like he's a provider as well as a clinical finisher. He's aggressive. He's fearless. Everything, and some of the passes he does are just outrageous. He's just, and he has a sort of character that I think we need, like a fiery character up front. And I know I have a lot of faith in Højlund developing, but I think we can't just rely on him at the moment. And if we have someone who is more of like a warrior sort of player that we can kind of interchange with, I think that would be fantastic. I looked at his valuation and I think it's 40 million euros.
It's a good
but
price.
I think we can get him for. But realistically, I would go for 50 million. I'd offer 50 million at the moment to Leverkusen. But I think he's what we're missing, because in all those games where Højlund sort of goes missing, he might get bullied a few times. I think Boniface has this sort of temperament. He's one of them ones where he won't let a defender get the better of him. He's super aggressive and he throws himself about. So he's a handful basically.
What's his goal
he's got
record
everything.
like? Like how many goals this season?
I don't remember. Oh, no, I did. Yeah, you can. Yeah, get him up. I think.
Get him up, Jamie.
Get him up. I think he's got 30 goals and assists, at least, in all competitions or something like that.
So, sorry to think it. So, at the minute, in just the league alone, 12 goals, 9 assists in 21 games. In all comps, 19 goals, 10 assists in 31 games, which is a pretty fucking good record.
That's a good record.
Yeah.
The fact that he's Nigerian as well, Chivi, is that like, yes, Nigerian in the squad?
Physical as well as a beast.
Yeah.
He's a complete striker. I prefer him to Osimhen, to be honest. I think he's more complete than Osimhen. Osimhen is more like the traditional Crespo. He can go missing and then he comes in and then scores a goal. But Boniface is just there in your face the whole time. And I think we need that sort of aggression in the forward line. So I'll definitely take him. If Rashford wants to do the hero thing, he can play. He plays off players around him. So he's one of them ones where he's looking to pass and he's looking to score. However, whatever happens, he's not greedy. He's not one of them greedy strikers. So I think he's complete, and I think this would be the best time to get him. I think.
Sounds good. Any comments, lads, on Victor Boniface?
No, I can't argue with Boniface because I've actually mentioned him before in like a scouting thing where I like the look of him. The only thing would be it's Leverkusen again in it, so it's how many players realistically are they going to get rid of? Like, are they going to get rid of Wirtz, Frimpong, Boniface, Grimart? Like, do you know what I mean? So, but I do like him. He's offers something different rather than your Højlund. So 1,000,000% I'd be up for that signing. No qualms.
Yeah, I think it would be a good signing. I haven't seen loads of him, but what I've seen of him, and obviously I've seen his numbers and that, and yeah, he looks a good striker.
Yeah, no, I like him a lot. Nick, do you want to give us your 11 to start the first day of the Premier League next season? Say you've got all your signings. Give us your 11. Who starts?
Well, if it was under any other traditional, what we usually had under Murta and that, there'd probably only be one signing through the door, wouldn't there? But
say everything goes your way. Say
everything goes our way. Onana in net. Frimpong at right back. Todibo, Lissandro, Shaw as your back line. Then I would go Kobe and fucking hell, what midfield did I pick? I can't remember. Who did I pick for midfield? 1 second. Oh, Fofana. Sorry, I completely forgot that. Kobe and Fofana with Bruno as your 10. And then I'd have Ahmad, Højlund and Garnacho as your front three. And then Xerxes, obviously, kind of rotation with Højlund.
Nice. Aaron, who's you starting 11 next season? Say everything goes your way.
Did you leave Rashford out then?
Yeah. He did, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm not
Wait until you see that tier list, mate. What comes out tomorrow. Wait until you see that.
Onana in there. Dallo right back, which I didn't think I'd be saying. Just because I feel like that can wait for another season, to be honest. Then I'd go with Sandro and Bramthwaite, just because Varane's gone in this scenario for me. Yeah. Then left back, Shaw / Kirk. Either way, if we're going to transition Shaw out, then I'm happy for him to start. Midfield, I would go Mainu and Rabiot. I'd probably put Onana on the bench. Still feel like he needs more work. With Bruno in the 10, and then I would go Garnacho, Højlund, and Dybala on the left.
Nice. Chivi, give us your 11, mate.
I've got Onana in goal. Got Dallo right back. Inacio, Lissandro, and either Shaw or David Raum or Grimaldo, whichever one. Well, since I'm going for Boniface, I'll leave Grimaldo out and say David Raum. Midfield, I'll go for Joshua Kimmich and Kobe Mino.
Sure.
I love that midfield.
I'll,
I love that midfield.
yeah. I'll go Sancho, Bruno, Rashford, and Boniface in attack.
Interesting. Sancho stays in Chivy's regime. Stays at the club.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are the 11s.
What? I just in the general thing in here. Are you all opposed? Obviously, Chivy's obviously not opposed to Sancho coming back, or if it was to hash things out, would you welcome him back, or are you done with him? That like, you know, I see for a lot of fans on Twitter saying, "Oh no, like, we can get rid of him and all that."
Under the current manager, he can't come back. If the manager goes, then yeah, you'll be given a chance. But under the current manager, he can't. There's no way back under the current manager.
But would you want him to be given a chance? That's what I'm asking.
Personally, if I played a different system, I would bring him in because I think you could play a certain system. But the system Ten Hag's trying to play, that's why Ahmad isn't getting a look in, and that's why Sancho ain't going to get a look in because he doesn't want that profile of player in his team. He wants a different type of winger, which is why Garnacho and Rashford play over both of those. So I think different manager, he probably would come in.
Yeah.
The thing about Sancho is, I just don't want him to go for like 13 million. Do you understand? Like, I don't want Borussia Dortmund to sell him to us at 85.
They're already saying it, Chivy. Have you seen it? They're already saying, "Oh, we might get him on loan, but we'll
with an
profit."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So they pull our pants down for him, and then they want to get him back on the cheap. Fuck that. Like, if he's going to go, then we need to get top dollar for him because he's displayed, well, based on what we saw that last game, you know, he's displayed that he can actually do it. So we should be charging a high amount. But I won't just get rid of him just because, you know, oh, he's not getting on with anyone, or let's just sell him for whatever. I think there's a redemption arc for Jadon Sancho, and I think, you know, the first season where he was here, I mean, no one really played well, really.
No.
It was under the whole Oli Ragnick thing and Ronaldo and all that crap. It didn't really happen for him like that. Second season under Ten Hag, he wasn't pulling up any trees, but we could see that, you know, there was a potential there. And I think that if we have a manager that plays, one good example I remember was Michael Carrick's first game when we played Atletico Madrid. Do you guys remember that game when we won Atletico 2-0? Yeah. And I could see what Carrick was trying to do with Sancho and Donya. They were playing off each other and they looked really lively. And then later on, Sancho goes to the left-hand side, and, you know, it was all. So I could see that, but, you know, in a perfect world for me, it would be criminal to have that sort of talent and then just let him go, right? I think we can get the best out of him. And the scenario that I'm imagining is that we're moving away from this manager and we have another manager in that can get the best out of him. So that's the reason why I have him in there. And I personally, I would have him back, personally.
I have one answer for this.
Can't hit it.
In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
Did you not hear that? No.
Big trouble. I heard big trouble.
Mourinho only goes, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. I don't want to speak. I'd rather not go into it, to be honest. I just feel like I'd be here fucking forever.
But yeah, they are the 11s. Jimmy, Nick, Aaron. I'm going to put them up on socials so you guys can vote for which one is your favourite. And then if you're watching now, put it in the chat. If you're watching later, put it in the comments. If you would buy, what your 11 would be next season. Let us know. There's been a lot of people in the chat, but I've been expecting more comments. It's a bit disappointing, but as long as you're watching, that's the important thing. We are on 4963, so we've got 37 subscribers away from 5,000. So if you guys can do that, that would be fantastic. We'll be back tomorrow with the Crystal Palace pre-match and a Crystal Palace post-match review. Nick, anything else I'm forgetting?
Yes, so I'm going to do a new show at 12 o'clock as well tomorrow, so make sure you come and join me for that. And there is a tier list video dropping for the members 2 days early, which is very interesting. Just finished the edit today, so that's dropping tomorrow. So make sure you go check that out. Let us know what you think. If you want to become a member, click the link in the description or the join button next to the notification bell. Join 23 other people who are a part of the membership now and get exclusive content, a badge next to your name, and a chance to feature on the show. you lucky devils. And yeah, make sure you go check that out and drop us some feedback. Apart from that, drop us a follow on socials as well, which all the graphics, all the handles I think are on the screen.
Absolutely. Dino Lewis has said Onana, Frimpong, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, De Jong, Menu, Bruno, Greenwood, Garnacho, Højlund. That is his 11 for next season. I put a poll in the chat as well. How many players do United need this summer? And the absolute runaway winner was 6+ with 47% of the votes. So that shows you where we're at with this United squad.
Out of all of us, like, how many players did you bring in?
Good question.
Let me go through mine.
5. I brought in 5.
6.
Fucking hell, that can't be right.
How have you
We
brought
didn't
in?
even talk about
8. A lot of free transfers.
we didn't even
Fucking
talk,
own
we didn't even
bargains
talk
here.
about goalkeeper.
Yeah. I think
We've got
it's just,
Onana. He's been here for a
it's-
season, isn't it?
it's not going to happen. Is
Yeah,
it?
but-
It's not going to change.
No, but what's his name? I think might leave.
Bayern there.
By India.
Yeah.
Could well.
Let's go get Romero back. Wherever he's playing in the world right now, go get Romero and bring him back.
Is there a situation where De Gea comes back?
He's
That's all
number
I'm
2.
saying.
De Gea is number 2.
Never.
But yeah,
Never.
That
Yes,
Real
can
Madrid's substitute keeper is not too bad, is he?
Oh, that
Is he
one.
Ukrainian?
Lunin.
Sorry?
Lunin.
Who?
Lunin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's sick.
Yeah.
Decent.
But yeah, we're going to film
Anyway.
an After Dark this month as well, because I feel like it's May in it now, so we need to do an After Dark. So if you want to be a member and you want to see the greatest podcast in the world, where we talk about everything there is to talk about, well, when we remember to bring our thing, so go check that out. Feel free to see that. If you want to join, it's I think Nick said £3 a month membership. Just click the link. It's at the bottom of the description of the video. And yeah, I think that's everything, lads. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for doing your research and your players and all that shit. Silence.
It was a
Perfect.
pleasure.
Thank you for that.
I thought that was it. I can give you this.
There it is. Capybara's in the chat. Capybara's in the chat right now. Peace out, everybody.